Good luck.
Hello, we're back. We've made it. We have made it. And it is dry by the looks of things. I don't know if it's going to have changeable conditions, but anyway, thank God that's over. All because the AlphaTauri crashed into the whatever it was.
Into Peters.
Mercedes. Yeah. But we're back. Sorry about the wait, but it's how things be. Um, anyway, let's hope that the race is exciting, shall we?
Well,
Lot of
going off
cracking to
quality,
go.
sure it will be.
Yeah.
I mean, nearly a full grid as well always makes for a good race.
How many DNFs into turn 1?
Ooh.
Full on DNFs.
I don't know. How many do you think, Duck?
2 or 3.
2 or 3 DNFs?
Yeah,
I
someone's
think-
gonna send
I think
it
2.
and die.
I think 1.
I reckon just after turn 2, it's a good place to die. That.
Okay, first lap. First lap.
Oh, you think people would have practiced for the opener though? You think, wouldn't you?
I know Molo's done around 5 laps.
Well, anyway, all the waffle can be done now, boys, because the red lights are coming on. And we're going to get underway for the first time in Season 7. Here we go. The lights are out. I think someone's jumped the start. I think the
Come on.
Ferrari's jumped the start. I think that's Kiziol. Or
I
is it
can't see a
Skowski?
drive-through.
I don't know what's happened then. But Peter leads into turn 1. I'm so used to seeing Fox Johnson in the Mercedes that I got a bit confused there. As there's a lot of changing about going
Oh,
on.
there's
The
some drama further back.
Paul's down into P18. There's a virtual safety car has come out. I think that's
There's a lot of damage.
Kiziol.
We've got Harrington without a front wing. Pole without a front wing.
Oh my god. I don't know what's happened there. There was no DNF since turn 1. No formation. There was no formation laps all of last season. Because everyone cries that there's going to be some kind of glitch, so...
So it looks like, from what I can see, everyone's got away cleanly other than 17th and 18th, who are both missing their entire front wing.
Yeah, and it's not going to be an easy race for them because it's not a full safety car, it's only a virtual, so they're still going to lose a lot from this open lap incident. What the hell is going on with this lobby? Is it freezing for you guys?
I'm trying to connect Logo
Oh,
Mint.
but Fox Johnson's got a great
can't
virtual
lie.
safety car restart, and he's going for the lead. Here, down into turn 13, into 14, now the Mercedes trying to hang it around the outside, but he's not going to manage it, and Fox Johnson takes the lead of this race at the end of lap 1. And the rest flowing through now as we go through the final few corners. Van Dijk's looking pretty racy on the back of Peter as, oh, the Alpine of De Silva getting all out of shape there. Nearly spearing off into the right-hand wall. But he's kept it
Who we have running
all
into the
together.
pits here.
I think Peel might have got a position from on the Alpine there. As both of the Ferraris not starting the season how they would like, and both coming
I
into the
believe
pits.
Skowski said he's been kicked out of the lobby. I don't know who he'd invite to get back in or not.
Duck, are you in yet?
And I haven't gotten an invite.
You don't need...
Yes, I do. I have tried.
I would have invited, but
first.
it's sad he doesn't let me, because that would be too easy.
Or I can invite Skalski as
I
well,
can't
because
invite
he
either of
did
you.
get
It
kicked.
won't let me invite
Okay.
anyone. Because just Codemaster's moment. But the reigning world champ is leading this race, as you should expect, as he is using the line after he said he wouldn't use it. And and they come now through turn 11 and turn 12. And it is looking like that gap is getting ever bigger between the Mercedes and the Williams. Further down the field, Anthony's looking around the outside here at turn 13 of the Alpine. De Silva seemed to be struggling a little bit with some race pace here after having such a promising qualifying session. And we saw him have that little bit of a moment on the final corner. Oh, and there's contact between Molo and is that Kilday? I think there's Kilda. Both Molo, I think Kilda ran into the back of Molo there and spun him round at the penultimate corner. That is devastating for Molo's race. He was running, I think, up in P7 or P6 possibly until that moment.
Wait to see that clip and hear about it.
Luke, I genuinely don't care. The amount of stuff I had to do to get his lobby just to go. That is the last thing I thought of. And plus, it's stupid that I can't even invite anyone to the lobby anyway. Like, even if...
Yes,
if I do
Skalski
this...
is not happy.
Oh, I can do it. I can do it.
Oh.
Quick, where's Duck? There you are.
Try Skalski as well.
I've already done Skalski.
Okay.
This one should be good.
Okay, so anyway,
That's
we're
the
back to
action.
racing. Well, this race, like, the race is hectic enough. We don't need all this stuff on top of it as well.
We have Anthony in P6 making a move.
Here he goes, passed into Silva. He's got
Really easy with DRS there.
There's a big margin between behind these two now after that contact between Molo and Kilder. Just over 3 seconds. And
Anthony may be on the charge. We'll see if Peters is going to go for the lead on AFJ with DRS here.
yeah, the first time, I believe, they'll have DRS. Oh no, they would have had it a little bit earlier on, but that's just allowed Peter to close up. He's not using any battery as it stands, as Anthony now sets the fastest lap after making that move onto Silva. But it doesn't look like there's going to be a move appearing from Peter this time around. It's a really nice time of day for this race, you not think? It's a nice little sunset race we've got going on here. I don't know if that's realistic settings or not, is it?
No.
Whatever you set it to.
I don't know. As
Very big winners. We've got P9 and 10. I think it's Breton and Foss up 8 and 9 positions.
yeah, that's
Big winners here.
Let me get the game
Gotting's just retired in the pits, I believe.
Yeah.
has.
And we've got Molo and 14th. I don't know if that's Van Basten. Two of the biggest losers here, down 6 and 5 respectively as
I
well.
think Foss from the back of the grid up into the points now is probably one of the most, best starts we've seen.
He was
in the last few
complaining that it wasn't be
seasons.
raining, but he seems to be doing fine without the rain.
Yeah. And his teammate currently up in P4 as well, having a great race, sticking to the back.
Peters getting really close to AFJ.
He is. These two, I mean, they were teammates last season, but I don't think we've seen Peter this fast all of last season, sticking this close to his his ex-teammate, Fox Johnson, and also stealing that pole away from him. So he's really putting the hammer down.
I think Peters he's always been a bit stronger in quali. I remember looking at the results for last season. But if he could up that race pace this season, he really could be in a good shout.
Yeah, and he's doing well so far. I remember China last season was really impressive from him. He stuck with a certain Ferrari driver and Fox Johnson for most of that race. And
His teammate Anthony seems to really be on the charge as well. He's right behind Pill, going through turns 9 and 10.
let's see if he can do anything now. Down into turn 13. He's looking left and right. He doesn't quite find it. Decides to slot back in. Maybe looking for an opportunity down into turn 1 or even turn 3. Both pretty good overtaking spots around this Melbourne circuit.
This is an extremely close top 6. I'm not
It
sure
is. It
if
very
we saw
is.
the top 6 this close before last season.
Could have been an exciting race. I mean, I don't know how much time Kilder lost due to that contact, but imagine we had this entire train going along. It'd be like F1 esports. But,
We don't want that though.
well, I mean, it would be exciting.
Had
Is
someone
I think
go.
what's going on
It's
there?
Molo.
Peter's going side by side with Fox Johnson through turn 3. Peter looked like he was nearly off circuit there, trying to get alongside the Williams. That was some very close stuff going on up ahead. Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Further back we had a Molo spin on turn 14. No damage though, it's just going to keep going.
Oh no, Duckett. It's not been a great race for Molo. I mean,
I'm just excited to talk to him after this race and hear about the rear ending. I've had Polish drivers before.
well, if there's one Polish driver doing extremely well right now, it is Peter, and he might be eyeing up a move here. Down into turn 13, he's alongside Fox Johnson. He's ahead of Fox Johnson on exit. Fox Johnson looking up the inside here as we head into 14. The Williams driver looking to be late on the brakes, maybe get up the inside.
Oh, massive snap.
But he's not managed it. And into turn 15 and 16 now he's going to be behind Peter. And Van Dijk actually eyeing up the back of the Williams driver now as they come through the final corner. DRS open for both of them. Can Van Dijk manage
got
anything
a massive
here?
battle going on for 8th, 9th and 10th as well. Oh, sorry. Oh, they both... That's 10th and 11th, both spun on the last corner.
Oh my god. Was there any contact?
Didn't look like it. They both just went by themselves. Or it might have just been Byland, from what I'm seeing here. It looked like they both went.
Well,
Lot
Hans
of action.
Peter is once again leading this race, and Fox Johnson, and they seem to have very similar pace. This top 6, even.
Oh, and that's
As Anthony's lost
Pole
a place.
further
Actually.
back. Pole has spun. Has lost
Paul's
his
lost his
front
wing again.
completely.
It's his second time this race of losing a front wing. I don't know what's happened there, but up at the front once again. This is so close up here, and like I was saying, Anthony's actually lost a position to De Silva. I'm not too sure what came from that, but these two falling off a little bit from the train up ahead of the 4 front
He was
drivers.
absolutely flying, so that's...
Maybe just a small mistake. It's very easy to overstep the curbs there and lose the back end and lose a run down a long straight. So very possible that he managed to do that. Whereas I think Pole should just come out ahead of the front runners, meaning he won't get lapped quite yet. And a safety car could still save his race here. I've just realised something very crucial. Not to do with the racing, but with this Twitch count not getting banned.
Oh no, what is that?
I've got the F1 logo up in the top left, and I forgot to put the Amethyst thing on the new overlay. And I really don't fancy this account getting banned, but I also really don't fancy missing any of this racing. Can you see lap times? What do you mean, see lap times?
We can go and view individual people's lap times, but we don't tend to do it in the middle
No,
of the
we're not going to go into the pause menu just to look at lap times. You'll be able to tell whether they're closing up or not, whereas actually, if this overlay is right, which it tends to be on occasion, is that nearly a second breach to Fox Johnson that Peter's pulled out?
It is just over a second currently.
So
Yeah.
Fox Johnson's currently out of DRS range.
Although it's
Just
very close. It's going
very
in and out.
oh, this could be Peter's chance here if he wants a chance to have a little bit of
does
comfort in
look
this
like-
opening stint.
Does look like he was behind in the detection zone here.
Let's see, does Fox Johnson have DRS?
Doesn't look like it.
He
No.
doesn't. Fox Johnson is out of the DRS range of his ex-teammate. So at the moment, Mercedes are looking good for this race with their teammate, Peter's teammate down in P5 as well. It's a strong race for them to open on.
Closest action at the moment, I think, is Van Basten on Molo for 11th, just coming on to the home straight now. It looks like it's going to be an easy overtake of DRS.
It does. And we've seen Van Basten in qualifying had some great pace at the start of, I believe, Q2 and Q3 as well. On those medium tyres compared to the hards that Molo is running.
He's
I'm
going
sure
there, but you'd think he's going to make the move into turn 3.
he's going to look for it late on the brakes round the outside here in turn 3. It's
What a
looking
bit of
like a
bang,
nice
nothing too
move.
bad.
They've kept it clean, and that is Van Basten now ahead of the Alfa Romeo driver for P11.
It's a big gap in front to try and get into the points, but you never know.
I'd say that Fox Johnson's closed up a little bit to Peter on this lap, if I'm not wrong. They're looking very close once again.
It's about 7.5 tenths, so must have had a very strong Sector 1, Sector 2.
We've got some penalties rolling in here as well for De Silva, Sandy and Molo.
Van Basten, oh, that's a massive twitch coming out of turn 10.
Oh, and that's a spin in the back. Who is that? I think that is
Kilda, maybe.
Kilda, if I'm not wrong. Is that Kilda?
Yeah, it looks like Kilda, yeah.
It was Kilda having a big spin at the final corner. Drops down to P9. Only loses 2 positions from that, though, because of the margin that was made up earlier on in the race. As Peel
damage
now
as
gets
well.
past Van Dijk. Van Dijk struggling to keep up pace. I don't know if that was a mistake from him as he nearly throws it into the wall there.
AFJ's got a penalty.
And yeah, AFJ's got a penalty. He's got a 3-second time penalty to his name now for track limits. And that is huge. That is absolutely huge in this close battle currently for P1. As
A
actually,
lot of people picking up these penalties very early on.
yeah, we're only on lap 10 of this race, and there's already, 5 people with track limits penalties, and I'm sure a few more warnings being dished out across the field that we just can't see. I cannot believe
Rely on,
Archie Britton is in
8th
P7.
place, Jonathan Foss.
8th place for Jonathan Foss, yeah, made up 11 positions this race from the back of the grid.
Might be about to be 12. We'll have a look.
into a very solid P8. It could be. As he's closing up. He's late on the brakes, going for the inside line. There's contact between the two. As Kilder actually gets a bit out of shape from that as well. I think clipping the rear left wheel of the Aston Martin driver. But he's going to have to slot back down into 8th place. Archie Britton flying the highest he's probably ever flown in Amethyst Racing League and is wanting to stay there. Let's have a look then.
Van Dijk kind of he's dropped off a couple of attempts, but he's still right there with Pill.
Yeah, a lot of drivers. I really think this fresh season is really made some drivers step up. I feel like Peter, Van Dijk, Anthony all have really stepped up at going into this first race of the season. We wouldn't see a grid this tight from existing drivers last season, I don't think.
No, definitely not. There was usually at least 1 or 2 people running away with it a little bit.
Yeah.
Occasionally we had the safety cars to bring it kind of back into order for the end of a race, but this is close the whole way through. AFJ has goes right back up to Peters now. Imagine if we trying to make a move on home straight once we get there.
And I mean,
he's got to get a move on now with that penalty.
And another thing to note as well is the midfield. The midfield is ridiculously close as well. And I mean, it's going to be a very exciting season if it's like this every time around. Of course, a shorter season this season as well, meaning I'm sure we're going to have a lot more drivers putting stuff on the line and pushing 100%, trying to make those overtakes at the crucial moments. And yeah, let's see if Fox Johnson can close up any more into turn 3. I don't think he's close enough to go for
Anthony
a move here.
Is so close. I think he's got a better run coming out of turn 2 as well.
Who's this?
Anthony P4 and 5.
Oh,
he's making the move.
He is making the move down the inside of Van Dijk into turn 3. Van Dijk falling down the order a little bit here, but I wonder if he can use Peter. Sorry, not Peter. Anthony, as Molo's retired. I think that's in the pits actually.
Yeah, it is.
From P12 though, that's a very quick exit from such a high position. But yeah, I was going to say Anthony. We saw Anthony at the start of this race have some great pace, flying up the order of the top 5. I wonder if we can see him do that again. I don't know if he had a mistake earlier on or what, but it just seemed like his pace dropped for a few laps. But he seems to have got back up to speed now.
I don't know what's happened to Britain's pace.
Oh yeah,
doesn't seem to have any damage, but Harrington has just overtaken him.
Britain was on the mediums before, so he's coming to the pit stop and he's come out P12.
Right, so it's cold hards, that's why he's been so slow this lap. It's very strange. He just
hydrate.
Got overtaken and dropped by a second and a half.
We've got a hydrate from Rolf, so I'm going to do that right now, or should I wait and see if Fox Johnson can overtake?
I think wait for AFJ.
Let's see. He's got the DRS once again. Peter is getting some great exits though out of these corners where he needs to do, and he's just staying ahead down towards the braking zone.
AFJ having a little look. I think this is Pole has had a little spin. Dropped down to Lars and the leaders right behind now.
Let's hope he's not in the way as he just comes out of turn 7 now.
He's going to be praying for a safety car at any moment.
Yeah, he needs a safety car now or ever. But no or never, not ever. What am I on about?
These top 3 are not running away with it, but they've got outside of the DRS window to Anthony here.
Yeah, and I feel like because Peter's stepped it up, we obviously already had a Fox Johnson, Myron Peel title fight in season 4. But if we get a 3-way title fight this season, I mean, I'm here for it.
Oh, I think everyone would love a 3-way title fight.
3 different teams, 3 different drivers. What else can you ask for? Is there?
Maybe they could even rival Tier 3 last season. Have a 4-way.
Oh, and a big snap from Myron Peel. Jesus, as Pole comes into the pits, I think that might be his day over as he gets lapped. And yeah, there he goes. He's retired from the session. So we've got 3 drivers out here on lap 14, and I think they've all retired just in the pit lane.
Then we have Foss. I think after breaking the pit, Foss up to 7th from last.
Yeah,
brilliant drive so far.
He's having a very good race for Aston Martin, and his teammate up in P3. They're looking to score some good points today. Oh, P3 did I say? I said P4, didn't I? I meant P3. So, yeah, it's looking like a good race for Aston Martin as Harrington makes a move. Oh, no, he doesn't. He just goes past Kilder, who's in the pits. So some people deciding to make some pit stops there. I think it's mainly the medium runners. I think we'll see hard runners in the next 2 to 3 laps. I think it's around about 16 where the hards go to in this race, if I'm not mistaken, unless we see anyone daring enough. Oh, we just saw Harrington pick up that penalty. If we see anyone daring enough to try the hard soft strategy,
Amethyst picked up a penalty as well.
yeah, it's
Some information on why Molo decided to retire.
okay.
After being punted, he got orange floor damage.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
If you get floor damage
Makes
around
sense.
here, it's practically race over. Especially for that final corner, I could not imagine how slow you have to go through there to stop spinning.
Yeah.
So yeah, unfortunate race for Molo. I'm sure it might be a similar story for Gotting, as he was also a very early retirement from this race. AFJ loves to eat, not least into Williams' budget this season. Okay, I'll try and include that in commentary. That wasn't it, by the way. I've got to just say that again. Not least.
Right.
I'm going to think of a better way to put that, though.
Gotting had a red rear wing damage.
Red.
That explains it.
damage,
That
Jesus.
explains it.
Yeah.
He'd been quite quick as well. You'd think he would be up here in this top 5 or 6.
Yeah. I mean, he could be another one to play into thought if this title fight does go the way we want it to.
AFJ is so close
He
this
is
time
close.
around.
We're right on board with him right now as we come down into turn 13. Oh, right clips that apex. Peter getting a little bit wide there. Maybe Peter feeling the pressure a little bit from his ex-teammate. There they go through the final few corners, and that's Peter into the pit lane. Peter is into the pit lane. He's the first to blink on those hard compound tyres in the top 5. And let's see how this plays out for him. So
He's
it is
got
now
Van Dijk in the pits.
Van Dijk into the pits as well. Let's have a look at Peter's pit stop. I think it was a 2.2 stop. It's a very solid job. But it is just...
I know he hasn't pit yet, but this puts Voss up into P5.
yeah, a safety car right now would be everything he could ever need. As I say that, who is that at the last corner? It is a Red Bull. Is that Van Basten? I think he's had a spin. I'm not sure if there's any damage. But at the final corner, we've seen a few people fall short there already. It's no damage on that front wing. But I'm sure the tyres are a little bit warm. But another error from a driver at that final corner. I was telling you about this in qualifying. It is such a tricky corner to get right consistently. And very easy to spin as well.
That final corner is a lot of people's nightmares, I feel, around this track.
Yep, it is. And I mean, literally there's so many exit curbs around here that aren't only deadly, but very easy to run a little bit wide and pick up a penalty, as we have seen a couple of drivers do already. But here we go. We are on lap 16 of this race. It's currently Fox, Johnson leading Peel as they both come into the pit lane now. In
Van
response
Dijk for a
to
penalty.
Peter and Van Dijk. Van Dijk picking up a penalty there. So it's literally, there's so many drivers with penalties. And it's only, 4 drivers out of the top 6 that don't have penalties now.
Let's see if Peters still comes out in the lead. It's looking like I might actually be quite close. He's massively lost out here.
He has massively lost out, and he's down into P3. Is that? As he's fighting Myron Peel, and I think he has made it stick. And Foss,
Still on the cold tyres.
Foss is now leading the race from the back of the grid. He's done last to first.
See, Peter should really. Oh, Foss at first. Wow. The safety car now.
This is Peter's chance now. He knows Fox Johnson's on the colder compound tyre after he's had an extra lap to warm his up.
Kilday's out.
Oh, a safety car! Safety car has been deployed. Foss is going to be a very happy man right now.
Absolute mastermind, Foss. He's gonna come out. He's gonna come out at least P7
Yeah, I think
Start
he's
last.
going to be P7. And
on fresher tyres than anyone else.
And one thing to note as well is he's going to be on fresh tyres as everyone else, yes, but he's just going to be behind 4 people who have penalties, and he doesn't have a penalty himself.
True, yeah.
So Foss is the luckiest man alive, basically.
I'm gonna go see if Foss has any warnings.
We've got Foss and Fox in the top 2 right now. As Kilder has... Oh, he's the one that crashed. I didn't actually pick up on who crashed. I just was excited for Foss.
Yeah, he had a few spins in quali as well, didn't he? I think.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just not his track.
Oh, I thought there was some kind of visual glitch in the pits there, and I thought that Foss went back onto the same compound tyres he was on already, but he hasn't.
Oof.
He's gone on to mediums, and he is exiting in P7, as we predicted. And you won't have to have that.
Warning.
And you won't have to have that worry of warming up his tyres while racing, because he's going to be able to do it all behind safety car. Oh yeah,
Well, he's
Britain
having
into the box as
absolute
well.
clever race.
Is that Archie Britton? He's gone medium, hard, medium. It's not a bad strat. He's in the pit lane, and I think he's going to come out back into the points in P10 behind his teammate, which is a... Oh, no, he's not, because he's gone off track. He's outbraked himself into turn 1.
Has he done that there?
I think just the cold tyres maybe took him by surprise while trying to race the Haas out of the pits. And, yeah, he's lost out to a points-paying position there.
It's not what he would have wanted to see.
It is not. As
Look at the top 10. We've got 7 people are penalties currently.
Crazy. It is crazy, but I feel like the one that's going to be kicking themselves the most is Fox Johnson up in the lead with that 3-second time penalty, and this safety car is definitely not going to help him.
No, and he got that very early on as well, so he could be on some more warnings. And he's going to be forced to push with Peters, Pill, Anthony all right behind him on fresh mediums as well.
Yeah,
so
we've
we
got
have the luxury of just taking it easy.
We've got to play into fact as well that Peter can't exactly just chill out behind Fox Johnson because he has that pressure of Peel, who also doesn't have a penalty himself, and you know, that could spout into something.
When AFJ got the penalty, he got 2 warnings.
Oh,
But he
was
got
it
a
at
warning.
turn
He
4?
got a warning, I think so, but he got a warning after that, so the penalty
Okay,
stays.
so it still stands.
Okay.
Well, we can have a quick look at what tyres everybody is on. There we go. Everyone on the field running medium tyres, which is, I mean, I don't think we see this very often. Maybe softs in a sprint race, but yeah, I mean, I can get tyre ages up somehow. I'm sure. There we go. That's how you do it. So 3 laps for Peter, obviously pitted a lap sooner than Fox Johnson and Peel and Anthony. Van Dijk also on 3 laps. De Silva just behind on 2 laps, and then Foss on those 1 lap fresher tyres than, well, he's on the fresh tyres in the field basically because, well, he put on the safety car like an absolute goat.
We have been talking about Boss a lot and how good a race he's had, but just behind him, 8th place, I'm going to muck up the name, but Zanzi.
Zanzi.
He's up 10.
He's up 10 as well, yeah. So the 2 guys that started right at the back have found themselves in a very good position to get some good points this race. And I'm sure, Duck, you are very happy to hear that.
Wait, sorry, hear what? I was on that.
Your driver is up 10 positions.
I am very happy, but he has 8 seconds in penalties.
I did not know that. Sorry.
It shows 3 on the stream, does it?
It
The
does say
stream
3
not
on the
show?
stream, but I don't think it shows speed into the pits and stuff.
I don't think he sped into the pits though. I think he got under yellow flags. So hopefully I can appeal it.
It does say 8 seconds in game.
I am praying it was for something else and I can appeal. But I mean, it's his first time racing here. And I will admit, I got him from Ballard, so yeah.
Sorry, but
Like
Harris
a cheat
has
code,
just
isn't it?
donated more bits.
I mean,
damn it.
Ballard's in himself is a cheat code.
Are you saying he's cheating?
No,
Are you
I'm
sure?
saying he is a cheat code.
Where is Balaj? Was Balaj meant to be racing
He is.
tier 1 this season?
Yeah, he was meant to race, but he doesn't have Wi-Fi at the moment, so it's kind of difficult.
That's not ideal. Are we expected to see him this season at all racing?
He may be here next race or Canada.
That'd be good to see him back, see how he fits in with everyone, seeing as it's so close at the moment from what we can see.
Already told him I expect him to win Canada. because it's his favorite track.
Well, hopefully he's back for Canada and see what he can do.
He is definitely back for Canada.
He promised me.
Well, we are on lap 20 of this race. I'm sure we're going to get a restart onto 21, which we always know was the superior game to be on. But let's hope the lap is as good as the superior game. And yeah, it's going to be Fox Johnson leading Peter and Peel. With Fox Johnson having that 3-second penalty though, I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of scrapping going on for P2. And I wonder if Peter can get the jump on Fox Johnson here, which would be crucial for him. If Peter can get ahead of Fox Johnson, he no longer has to worry about Peel, you know, until he gets past Fox Johnson as well. And you can hopefully just stay ahead like we saw him do in that first stint of the race. He had the exits covered down the straights, and Fox Johnson was struggling to get past into the braking zones until he jumped him on the pits. But you can see all 15 drivers remaining in this race, swerving left and right, warming up their tyres, all on the same compound tyres, all on fairly similar age compound tyres. I don't know what his camera angle is. There we go. And we're going to get going very shortly. The safety car is now entering the pit lane.
It looks like a sprint weekend now.
It does look like a sprint weekend. Oh! Oh, and Peel's in the wall!
Peel!
Myron Peel, I don't know if there was contact involved there. I don't think there was. I think he just lit up the rear. Possibly that throttle thing with the safety car.
And that's an M plate as well. That has completely ruined his race.
Yeah, all the way down to P13
And can I just say
now.
this puts Foss up to P6.
Foss. He's looking
And
at
Peel
the
was
number
one of the
one
drivers
Aston
without a
Martin driver.
penalty.
As here we go. I don't know what's going on the leaderboard either. Sorry, chat. I think it will fix once the safety car thing goes away. But here we go. It's going to be Alex Fox Johnson leading Peter, and Anthony now, who finds himself up into the podium positions. That was interesting.
Very close. I mean, Peel into the lead.
Yeah, Peel into the lead of the
For a couple
race.
seconds.
As we are now going to get back underway. Green flag running once again. Alex Fox Johnson getting a bit of a jump on his old team in the Mercedes. And as we go through turn 1, it is Fox Johnson still ahead. Further back, I don't think we've had too much movement going on. Archie Britton's back up into the points paying position due to Peel's pit stop. And
Basson had the biggest stop I've ever seen.
oh, it's further back though. I think that's Foss making a move. Oh, Foss got overtaken by Harrington into turn 3.
Yeah, on turn 1, yeah. On
Oh,
turn 1, I think
turn
he got
1.
overtaken. But all the drivers ahead, other than Peters, are penalties.
Yeah, it's looking good for anyone that hasn't got a penalty this race. There's a lot of people with 3-second time penalties, and that will make a much bigger impact, as we'll see when they cross the line. But Alex Fox Johnson has had a great start to this second stint of the race. Nearly a second clear of ex-teammate Hans Peter. I think he lost a bit of time there, though, through the chicane. As Fox Johnson's still weaving to try and get some temperature into those tyres. As the two Mercedes charge down in pursuit. I'm sure Luke Martin is grinning. He lost this driver due to the Williams team signing him at the end of last season. After Fox Johnson spending, I think, 3 seasons at Mercedes. And now his two boys are hunting him down in the opening round of Season 7.
Yeah, Mercedes 2-3. I mean, as a Mercedes boy, I do love to see it.
Yeah, it's looking good for Mercedes to have the lead of the constructors so far. But I'm not going to put any commentating curse out, as Zandy is now going to be on 11 seconds of penalties as he picks up another 3 seconds. As Foss makes a move though for P6 down the inside of turn 3 and of Jack Harrington. That was a nice clean move there from the Aston Martin driver, who's now leading his teammate by a good amount of time. And yeah, very unfortunate for Myron Peel.
Let's see if Foss can start making any headway towards the front 5.
As I feel Van Basten's got some good pace at the moment. He's closing up to the back of Harrington as we head towards turn 11. He's tucked right into that slipstream. Can he get a better exit though out of the chicane? Oh, it's a big wobble!
Oh,
Right as I go on
how's he
board with
saved
him.
that?
Oh my god. That was a huge moment, and he's dropped down out of the points, I think. Oh, he's just ahead of his teammate, Archie Britton, and team principal, Archie Britton, in P10. But yeah, that was a huge moment. I'm sorry, Van Basten. I think that was commentator's curse. I do apologise. But, I mean, that is what I'm here to do.
But Anthony very close to Peters. I wonder any first race of the season. You wouldn't think there's any sort of team orders going on, especially with Luke Martin out at dinner.
Yeah, Luke Martin.
AFJ was 6 seconds now. He's picked up another penalty.
Oh, wow.
You know, one of those was a double, so currently it would probably get reduced down to 3, but any more warnings and that 6 seconds would stick.
Yeah, he's got to play it really safe now as Myron Peel picks up 3-second time penalty after just setting the fastest lap. He's actually closed up by quite a lot towards Kisiel in P14, the Ferrari driver. Closing up a few seconds per lap on those soft compound tyres. How long that pace will stick about for, though, is yet to be seen. But I feel like there should be a little bit of team orders going on down at Red Bull. I mean, the team principal, for Christ's sake, is behind one of their drivers. So, I don't know.
There's a massive DRS train at the moment as well.
It is, but you've got to think Britain doesn't have any penalties either, so he has a lot to gain here on the cars ahead. And with Zandi also having 11 seconds of penalties, I mean, I'm not sure Britain's going to fall out of that. But you could maybe try and take advantage of him maybe not feeling the best about his race pace at the moment. As
I mean, we literally have everyone in DRS down to 15th. This really
crazy.
is now turning into F1 esports.
Yeah. Well, everyone's on the same compound tyres, about the same age tyres, but it is... Oh, Peter's out of ERS. I can see that red light flashing on the back of the Mercedes. So, could this be time for him to let Anthony pass and maybe just extend that gap to reduce the effect of his 3-second penalty? Because
Definitely could be.
that's going to cost him a few points.
If Anthony can close up, then it might make sense.
Yes, Kisiel picks up a 3-second time penalty now as well. How many of these are going to be double pens? That's a good question.
Van Bassen's just picked up another one as well.
But at the moment, I think... I'm trying to work out who the podium sitters here. I think it's Peter Foss. Anthony?
It could be Anthony, yeah.
I think. Yeah,
It
it's
should
gotta
be Anthony.
Wait, is it Peter Foss Anthony? Is that right?
Yeah, I think
Looks
currently I think it would just about go.
If
Peter
Foss
Anthony.
gets a podium in his first ever outing at Amethyst Racing from starting P19, the back of the grid in this race.
Back in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
One race in.
I think he can go onto the front page of the website for a night.
Costa's made up 13 positions.
Yep, and I think there's a change coming at Mercedes because Anthony's going down the inside of his teammate into turn 3, and he's made that move stick nicely. I don't think Peter wanted to fight that too hard as Peel's retired from the session. I think that's in the pit lane. So now we're down to 14 runners out of the 19 that originally started. So it's not been a successful race from that standpoint. But I'm sure, we've not had any major crashes, major incidents so far that I've seen. So far the Son of the Racing's been pretty good apart from that earlier on incident with the AlphaTauri and the Alfa Romeo.
Van
But
Dijk has dropped back a lot here.
he has.
I don't know if he's made a mistake this lap. People all over the back of him.
He's also out of ERS. This could be a very tricky lap for Van Dijk as here comes Da Silva round the outside here into turn 13. Van Dijk tried to hold it, but he got a little bit of wheel banging on the rear right of the Alpine, and now Foss is looking to get past him. This could cost Foss a podium, though. All is squabbling up ahead of him. If he can't get past these guys and he can't make up that time, I think it could be a double Mercedes podium as it stands.
Definitely looking like it. I mean, we've seen what can happen in one lap, let alone 4. You never know.
Oh, Sandy picks up another one. 14 seconds. I think someone should have told him we played on strict corner cutting. But here we go. Lap 26. We've only got 3 more laps after this one. Of course, counting in the final one. And he's looking good for Mercedes at the moment. As have they still bridged that gap? Is it still going to be a 1-2? Considering Fox might still have a penalty.
It is. It does look like it's going to be a 1-2 for now. Foss is very close.
He is, as we head down once again to turn 13. It seems to be a favourite for the drivers this race coming in.
Foss is trying to make a move for P5.
He's looking for that inside line, doesn't find the traction on exit though, and loses out a little bit of time. As it's starting to spread out a little bit more now as we get further into this second stint of the race, I guess, from the safety car restart. And yeah, it's all steaming up right now. I think, is Anthony out of DRS range of Fox Johnson now?
He is, yeah. He's a second and a half back.
As Flyco, Edwards gets a 3-second time penalty. There's another one coming in.
Just left with what? Peters, Foss, Britton, and Skowski.
Side by side for Foss and Van Dijk then as they came through turn 5. That was very close margins between the two. And yeah, this has been a great race. Some really good racing from everyone in Tier 1 here. Hopefully Tier 2 and Tier 3 will be just as close.
I'll see, we're both racing in those.
Oh, and here comes
and
Foss
he's done him.
Down the inside through turn 10. And he's ahead going to turn 11. Foss had that move, it seemed, at the end of last lap. But by the time he gets around the track again, he is up another position. And Harrington looking to pick off Van Dijk here as well. Down the outside, the Haas driver trying to hang it. He doesn't quite find it, and Van Dijk's getting very sideways as he gets back on the power there. Van Dijk really struggling now he's out of VRS to keep pace with these guys around him.
I think he needs a couple of smooth corners, just get back in the flow.
He's just been getting bombarded after bombardment with all these drivers trying to make a move past him, and he's lost the rhythm.
I remember Foss is coming out to the back of the Silver with no DRS, so you'd think this is going to be a fairly easy move with how much Foss is charging on the field.
Foss still got a fair amount of ERS to play with as well. A little bit of a lock-up as he came into 3. But
he really needs to get past the Silver this lap, but even so, I don't think he'll be able to grab P2 from Anthony. It's just, it'll be too much to do in one lap unless there's a mistake.
I mean, even still, if Fox Johnson does pick up that final warning, surely he's still going to be P4, P3 maybe? At a push?
Well, it's going to be very close. I think he's probably going to end up P4, but 19th to 4th is still absolutely
something
incredible.
to be, still something to be very happy about. And Sandy picking up another 3 second. You got a feel for him. He's drove his hat out, but Foss, I just completely did not pick up on that. Foss just made a beautiful move down the inside into turn 13, and he's up into P4 on merit. This guy has probably had the race of his career today. From P19.
Oh, the massive snaps.
Yeah, everyone's really
from
struggling
Van
now.
Dijk
Like
and De Silva.
everyone's pushing 100% in these final few laps. You've got to say, Alpine are having a pretty good race as well. I know they've both got penalties, but to be running this as a team in P5 and P7 is a good point haul for them to start the season off.
Yeah, and everyone behind them also has penalties, so they'll be staying 5th and 7th.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Oh, there's been an incident at the back, one of the Ferraris, I think that's Skowski.
Kizil.
Was it Kizil? Oh, Kizil was DNF'd.
Oh, Kizil, yeah. What's happened there? Is it just a crash? Did he crash?
I don't know.
It's a slow corner. I think I remember we saw Chappers back in season 5 DNF there.
I just want to say right now, Fox Johnson, surely if he does get a warning removed and he does have a 3 second, Peter's on the verge of losing a position out here, right?
He's still 2.5. It's a little bit closer on the actual timing.
Okay. Well, Fox Johnson is going to round the final corner now.
Jack Harrington has gone. Either he got pushed
on the last
wide
lap,
or he's gone way too deep.
But Fox Johnson crosses the line to finish first on track. But I think Peter has beaten him and takes that top step of the podium.
Foss does take P3.
Oh my god!
Eastern
And Foss, from 19th on the grid, finishes on the podium. What a drive from Foss. And the Mercedes boys bringing it home in 1-2. I wonder if that will stick due to Fox Johnson's double warning. He might get a warning removed and it dropped down to a 3 second. And De
No,
Silva
he
bringing
got
it
a-
home P5. Van Dijk P6. Britain bringing it home in P7. A very respectable drive from him as well, it has to be said. Edward P8. Skalski P9 as well. The first outing in Tier 2 as a full-time driver for him after winning the Tier 2 championship. As I say, I meant Tier 1. And Van Basten bringing it home in P10. A double points finish for Red Bull because of that as well. So, wow. That was... I don't even know what to say about that race.
We'll see if Foss gets to keep that podium depending on AFJ's penalties, but
AFJ
either
got
way,
another
incredible
warning.
drive.
He what?
AFJ got another warning. He's keeping both penalties.
Oh, so he's down in P4 after having such a
Yeah.
strong race, but Foss keeps his podium, and I've got to say that is a deserved podium. That was a hell
It
of
was
a
an
drive.
incredible drive, yeah. And he was helped out a little bit by the safety car, but you still can't take anything away from the drive. I mean, the guy started 19th and has finished 3rd.
And I don't want to take anything away from this man right here, Hans Peter. What a drive from him and his teammate as well, Anthony, who was on a charge at the start and on a charge at the end. And they've brought it home in 1-2 to start the season off for Mercedes. A very, very good race. Alright, well, we're going to head to the interview box now, where we will interview probably around 3 or 4 people, maybe 5 at a push. Depends how many of you I can tolerate. No, I'm joking.
You're
But-
not though, are you?
We'll be back very shortly for that, and stick around if you want to hear some of the drivers' thoughts and feelings on today's race. And yeah, we'll be back very shortly. Well, it didn't work, chat. Give us a second. Why is no one joined? Can people see this?
To us.
I don't know if people can see it. Oh, you must be able to see it.
I was able. I don't know. I can just join straight up, but
Maybe everyone just doesn't want an interview. That's fine by me. Bye.
make it easier.
If anyone's listening to the stream, you can find the interview box. It's right. I heard some people joining now. You should be able to see it a little bit easier. It's right underneath all the check-ins.
Interviews on that popular this season, apparently.
No, apparently not. But
The racing's
the one
good.
thing I'm happy about is that Foss is here, and this is the man that I want to talk to right now. Let's get Mick Williams up here as well. I mean,
Hello.
what a drive! You've got to be happy with that Mick Williams, and I mean, you2 Foss. It's something but heroic, and yeah, I mean, you deserve that podium, very much so. Do you want to talk us a little bit through your race? I know. Well, I guess we can start with quali because it's it's obvious now that didn't go too well because of how good the drive was. So, do you want to walk us through that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it was just on my second push lap, and I don't know, maybe I hit the curb wrong or something, so I spun, and touched the wall a little. It wasn't even that like big of an impact, but yeah, my wheel just fell off, and that's it for me in quali. So it shouldn't happen too often. I don't usually make those mistakes, but I don't know. I probably just hit the curb wrong or something. So yeah, I guess happy with the race at least.
Well, yeah, the race went well from the get-go because I remember you started P19 and then I think it was by like lap 3, I want to say, or 4, and we looked down and we saw that you were in like P8 or P9, P7, maybe even P7, and we were talking about how much you'd gained on that first lap. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Hang on.
Oh.
Oh. You can bring him in it if you want.
He's like, oh, Pio. Well, I didn't know what you were on about. I was asking a question. I thought you were going to say something about that.
No.
Well, yeah, Foss, so do you want to talk us a little bit about the opening stage of your race? Like, how did you climb up the order so fast?
One sec, Connor. There's music playing over the interviews at the moment.
It's not that loud, though, is it?
I've just been told there's music playing.
Okay. Okay, carry on.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think I had actually a pretty good initial launch, and second phase was all pretty good. So I got 3 cars off the line, I think it was. And yeah, then there was just absolute carnage into turn 1 and 2. So I managed to escape without any damage or anything. So I think I was P11 or P10 by turn 2. And yeah, after that I guess overtook a few people, and there we were chasing after Arjen in I don't know, 6th or something, I don't know. But yeah, it was a good start, and the main reason I did so well was because I stayed out of the carnage in turn 1 and 2, so
Well,
that definitely helped a lot.
I think you owe a big thank to Bert Meinlander and his safety car as well, because that definitely came out at a perfect time for you, and obviously brought you back into it towards the leaders of the race as well, and just keeping it clean, but keeping it between the white line or the yellow lines on this track, I should say, and keeping that those warnings down to a minimum, I think really helped you there in the end. I know you already got up to P4 on your own without the penalties coming into play, but that cleanness of driving got you the podium in the end, and I mean, just what a drive,
Thanks.
And Peel, I mean, condolences to you, because that was a tough way to get knocked down the order. Was it an error from you, or was it a contact we didn't really see?
No, I was just normally warming up my tires, and then out of nowhere, the game gave me full throttle, and I just spun.
Yeah, is it the safety car throttle thing? Or
yeah, I wasn't even holding full throttle. I just was like for 10%, but like sometimes after the safety car, my throttles are glitched or something. So I was just doing 10%, and out of nowhere, the game gives me full throttle, and I was gone. Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. You had great pace though, and it's looking like you're going to be a strong competitor for the rest of this season.
Yeah, maybe. This is one of my best tracks. Quali was quite unfortunate. I got a invalid lap time on my last run. Otherwise, I was P2 starting. But yeah, I had a good pace. Could keep up with P1 and P2. And I was also able to save some ERS. And then the safety car came out, and from there everything went wrong.
Yeah, well, it's very unfortunate, and I have had that happen to me before with the whole throttle thing. But McWilliams, since you're up here, do you want to add anything on to your driver's performances today?
I just have a smile glued on my face. I used to pray to God for days like these. Well, at least for Foss, at least. Meron, just a bit unlucky, but he definitely seemed very competitive, especially in the opening stages of that race. He was looking to be sniffing up the nose of right up the top 3 or 4. So it was just very promising to see him just have that pace to be up there. And it's good to see that we have 2 cars fighting well at the front, really.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to step your game up, mate, because Rory would do this week in, week out back in the day, so... Well, no, thank you boys for coming up here. I mean, at least someone came to do an interview. And, yeah, great stuff. I'm sorry about how your race ended up, Peel, but it went well up until that point. And, Foss, great drive, mate. And, yeah, cheers, boys.
Another one I'm
Cheers.
getting on my Mackies.
Luke Martin could never.
Yeah. El Martin.
Alright, lads. Well, I'll speak to you... Well, I
My
don't know,
Discord
Alex.
is glitched.
Interesting. Alright, let's get Fox Johnson up here, since he was leading the race until he fell down the order due to his penalty. But I mean, you got to take something from this. You're on pace and you were up there fighting for the win. If you didn't have those penalties, you know, you've got the similar pace to the guys around you. I feel like Peter and Peel keeping you honest that race. Do you want to talk about your qualifying first of all, and how it was to get that front row?
Honestly, I was just shocked. I'm just a wash driver, honestly. Since my
You don't know the
win
first
last
thing
season-
about being washed, okay? Let me tell you.
Alright, look. Do you not remember season 5?
You haven't even changed your line off. Shut up.
What? I listen here, dinosaur. Right? I'm learning no line whilst also racing with line during the races because I don't want to be off pace. I don't want to bruise my ego, and I know it's already big enough. So please don't comment on that.
Nearly as big as your weight.
That's okay. Yeah, so the race was going well. I was just keeping it conservative. I was honestly just saving ERS the entire first stint. Then obviously we pitted, I jumped them and safety car came out. Skalski really annoyed me because he was really slow on the safety car restart and was about an entire lap back. But yeah, I got a good safety car restart. Obviously, I was sitting on 3 seconds at the moment at that point. And then I found out I got a double warning, so I got 6 seconds. I thought I had 6 warnings, but I've been told I have 7, so I'll have another look through and I'll comb through what I can get removed. But yeah, I'm happy with my overall pace, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be close with the way this title goes down, because obviously it's a shorter season, but it looks like there's a lot more like people on pace this season, relative to you at least anyway. I don't know if it's because you slowed down or they got faster, but
well, to sum it up, my practice for this race was chess with Evan Potts, so
okay, that's a good point.
I'd say with a bit of practice I could probably
It's proven fact that speaking to Evan Potts loses you pace on F1 282.
That's where I'm going wrong.
Yeah.
Right. I see.
But I think you've definitely got a bit of more of a challenge on your hands this season.
No, I agree.
And it's kind of crazy to say that, considering the fact that last season your challenge was a cheater. But but you know, it is what it
You
is.
shall not be named.
It is what it is, and no, great stuff from you. Oh,
He was watching today.
was he?
Was it?
He was in chat.
Oh,
I should have asked him for his brake settings, man. I needed them this race. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm fairly happy with my pace. Put it that way. Obviously, had I not had that double warning, I would have been P2. But I mean, yeah, congrats to the Mert boys. Did really well. They kept me honest this race, so I've got nothing to complain about, to be honest.
Right, well, thank you for hopping up here, and good luck for the next one in Silverstone. And a sprint
you.
race there as well, so more points up for grabs.
Is it a sprint race?
It is.
I thought that was Austria.
No, it's Silverstone and Brazil, I think. No, it was Silverstone and Austria. Silverstone and Austria. There's two.
Oh, right. Okay.
Wait, let me actually double check that. Wait, let me. Yeah, Silverstone, Austria. Yeah. But yeah, thank you for hopping up here. We'll hop on to the next one. There's a few people down in the bottom, so we'll speak to you next week. Well, I probably won't, but Luke Martin will.
Oh God.
Joy. All right. Next up is, let's get my boy up here, Van Dyke. Come on up, mate.
Hello.
Welcome.
Why do I get my airtime?
What do you mean? Why do you get airtime? You're the
I
next
didn't do
one.
anything.
Yeah, you did.
Nah.
Excuse me. P3 in quali.
Yeah.
P6 in the race is very good points still.
True, but if I heard it like this, it will be P7 after Alex gets his penalty removed. So.
If he gets his penalty removed.
Yeah, but I don't know. It was just that safety car. I lost all my advantage I gained, so that wasn't that great.
Well, we'll see what happens. But either way, let's go through a bit of your week. A bit of your weekend, I should say. Even though it's a Friday night. But we started off in quali. You got, I feel like a surprise few front row positions, and then I think it's just because the track was getting better and better and better. We didn't know what kind of pace everyone had until Q3, and yeah, to put it up in P3, I mean, it was a very, very solid lap, and
yeah, you summed it up perfectly. Yeah. Although in the first Q1 I just didn't know what to do with the Inter, if I had to drive a couple laps in a row or just one lap or whatever. And I just went through, I couldn't put another lap in because of the invalidations. And in Q3, like, I just did a first run on the U set. And then after that, I just changed my brake setting so I could get a P3. And yeah, it worked out pretty decent.
Yeah, and I mean, I really don't know how to sum up your race, because you had really, really good pace. And you're sticking in DRS for, I think it was about 10-15 laps. There was the top 6 all within DRS of one another. And yeah, I think towards the end of that race you ran out of DRS, right? And
yeah, I chose for a pretty high rear wing, which made the car pretty stable on all compounds and in the corners. But the straight line just really killed me. So if I didn't have any ERS to use, I would just fall back. And once I didn't notice it, and I just got out of the DRS and I couldn't get back in. So yeah, that was unfortunate.
Yeah, and I think that lost you 1 or 2 positions, unfortunately. But I think one you would have lost to the penalty anyway. So, P6 is still a very good result. And I feel like there was a few factors playing against you in that race as well, with the safety car and stuff like that, with Foss getting the free stop behind the safety car. Put you in a difficult position with that as well. So I think it was very well managed, and yeah, a great race from you.
Oh, thank you. It was.
Well, yeah, good to speak to you, mate. Thank you for hopping up here for a quick interview. And,
yeah, you too.
And I'll speak to you soon.
Yeah, nice evening.
Cheers, mate.
Bye.
And we'll do one more after this. Oh, sorry, mate. There we go. We're going to do one more after this. We've got Harrington up here, who I think had a very unfortunate end to your race, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, it was chaos at the start, turn 1, but it's Australia, it's going to be.
Yeah.
Spent most of the race at the back, obviously on the mediums, and then safety car came out. I've never been so happy to see a safety car in my life until then. Got up to like P6 because it was just carnage turn 1 again, because I don't know what was going on, safety car restart. Whoever was at the front was doing some fun tactics, but it's his choice. got to P6. Obviously, I had a little snap, so Foss got the position on me. But to be fair, I got triple warning, but I think I got another warning at the chicane. So I think my 3 second would have remained anyway. But yeah, going for a move up to P7 on the last lap and just got pinched against the wall. But not really going to comment on that. I'll let the stewards decide what to do with that. But yeah, just sort of disappointing. I mean, Q1 was really good. I mean, I was using quite a low downforce setup in qualifying, and I think that's where the mistake came in Q2. But you know, be back next week and show what we can do, really.
Yeah, and that's the attitude to have. I mean, you had, I remember the Q1 you had, it was very solid, and then that unfortunate crash in Q2, which was a spectacular crash to watch, to be honest. It was.
Yeah, it was nice and quick, to be fair. If you're going to crash, that is well.
I cut it perfectly on stream, so I'm sorry about that, but no, it was.
No. I'll watch that back in
No, it was
my nightmares.
Yeah, it was a very spectacular crash to watch, but no, you pulled it back in the race. It's unfortunate what happened in the last lap. It was right as I was about to announce the winner of the race, and I just saw the white dot drifting off. But no, unfortunate end of the race for you, mate. But no, thank you for persevering, and yeah, I wish you all the best next race.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, mate. Thank you for stopping up for an interview. Yeah. Alrighty, well, I think that's about where we wrap up the stream here, guys. Luke, thank you for co-commentating with me. It's been a big help.
No problem. I'll be back next week as usual.
Yeah, with the other Luke, probably. Hopefully, because I don't think I could put myself through this again.
He's not going to have a date, surely.
Oh, God, no. One a year. One every 10 years. And
not even here to defend himself.
And Duck, if you're still listening to the stream, thank you for hopping up and co-commentating as well. But yeah, that's it, and we'll see you on Sunday for the Tier 2 race. 5 PM though, back to normal last season time because of the Miami Grand Prix. But from then on, it will be 7 PM BST for the Tier 2 race. That has changed. And yeah, see you guys then.